Full Metal Jacket premiered in 1987 and became one of Stanley Kubrick's most intense war films. The iconic bathroom mirror scene almost never happened with R. Lee Ermey. Kubrick hired him as a technical advisor, not an actor, but Ermey filmed a 150-insult audition tape that Kubrick couldn't replicate with scripted dialogue. These are 15 hidden details you completely missed in Full Metal Jacket. Number 1. Ermey wasn't supposed to be Gunnery Sergeant Hartman at all. Kubrick cast actor Tim Colseri after 6 months of intensive rehearsal, with Colseri living on set perfecting the drill instructor's brutal cadence. Ermey was hired purely as a military consultant to coach Colseri on authentic Marine behavior. During pre-production in early 1985, Ermey shot an unauthorized audition tape where he screamed insults for 15 minutes straight while assistant Leon Vitali threw tennis balls at him, never breaking character once. Kubrick watched the tape and fired Colseri immediately. If you pause the helicopter door gunner scene, that's Colseri. Kubrick gave him a consolation role. According to producer Jan Harlan, Colseri refused to discuss the firing for 2 decades. Number 2. The boot camp scenes feel unnervingly authentic because Kubrick didn't cast Hollywood extras. He hired actual Marine Corps veterans who had served in Vietnam. These men lived in barracks built on the soundstage for 7 months between February and August 1985, maintaining military discipline even when cameras stopped rolling. Kubrick demanded they follow real boot camp schedules, waking at 0500 hours and performing actual drills between takes. The extras never break posture and never glance at cameras. Their muscle memory from real service created an atmosphere of genuine military precision that trained actors could not replicate. Cinematographer Douglas Milsom noted the extras correct the actors' behavior constantly, creating tension Kubrick encouraged. Matthew Modine reportedly requested Kubrick tone down the verbal abuse during early rehearsals at Bassingbourn Barracks. Number 3. Vincent D'Onofrio gained 70 pounds in 7 months for the role of Leonard Lawrence, the fastest documented weight gain for a film role in Hollywood history at that time. Warner Brothers required daily medical monitoring because the rapid weight gain caused breathing problems and elevated blood pressure. Compare his appearance in the first boot camp scene to the bathroom climax. The physical deterioration is real, not makeup. D'Onofrio told Premiere magazine, "I ate constantly between takes, sometimes consuming 6,000 calories daily under medical supervision." Kubrick refused to adjust the shooting schedule despite the health risks. During night shoots, D'Onofrio's obesity caused genuine respiratory distress requiring oxygen between takes. Production supervisor Philip Hobbs monitored his condition throughout filming at Pinewood Studios. Number 4. The 3-minute bathroom climax took 5 weeks to film in a single location, with Kubrick shooting over 50 takes per camera angle. D'Onofrio and Matthew Modine rehearsed in actual isolation, with Kubrick forbidding them from socializing with other cast members to maintain psychological tension. D'Onofrio's weight caused breathing problems during night shoots. Watch his hands throughout the scene. They shake visibly from genuine physical exhaustion, not acting technique. The bathroom set remained locked between filming sessions to preserve the actor's psychological state. Modine described the experience in his 2005 book as emotionally draining beyond anything I'd experienced, with Stanley demanding they access real fear. The scene was originally twice as long in Kubrick's assembly cut, including extended dialogue where Lawrence explains his psychotic break. Number 5. Full Metal Jacket is essentially 2 separate films shot 8 months apart. After boot camp wrapped in October 1985, Kubrick paused production to construct the Hugh City ruins inside an abandoned gasworks facility in Beckton, East London. The original $17 million budget ballooned to $30 million primarily due to this massive set construction. Production designer Anton Furst said Kubrick obsessed over architectural accuracy, demanding they study Vietnam War photographs to replicate specific building damage patterns. The second unit did not begin filming Vietnam sequences until June 1986 with director of photography Douglas Milsom. Watch any exterior shot carefully. The jungle is actually painted concrete, and all Vietnamese architecture has distinctly British industrial foundations underneath tropical dressing. Number 6. Every Vietnam exterior was shot at the abandoned Beckton Gasworks in East London, an industrial facility Kubrick transformed with 200 imported palm trees and tropical plants painted directly onto concrete walls. Look carefully at background shots during the sniper sequence. You can spot an industrial chimney covered with palm fronds. Kubrick hoped viewers would not notice the Victorian architecture beneath the jungle camouflage. Filming was delayed 3 weeks waiting for overcast skies that could pass for Vietnamese weather. Cinematographer Douglas Milsom admitted, "We prayed for clouds because bright English sunshine exposed the set's artificial nature immediately." The entire Vietnamese population consists of Spanish actors dubbed with phonetic dialogue. Production coordinator Margaret Adams confirmed no actual Vietnamese performers anywhere in production. Number 7. The terrifying sniper who shot multiple squad members was played by Ngoc Le, a 14-year-old actress who spoke no English during filming. She learned her final dialogue phonetically, repeating sounds without understanding the words. Kubrick directed her close-ups in complete silence, forbidding crew members from speaking to maintain her genuine disorientation. Watch her tears in the final scene where she is wounded. That is a real emotional breakdown after Kubrick demanded over 40 takes of her begging for death. Warner Brothers executive Terry Semel questioned why the ethics of using a child actor in such graphic violence. Kubrick argued the character's youth was essential. Casting director Leon Vitali remained on set throughout to monitor her welfare. Number 8. The prostitute scene created an unexpected legal battle. When two live crews sampled the dialogue for their 1989 hit song, Kubrick and Warner Brothers sued for unauthorized use of copyrighted dialogue, reaching an undisclosed settlement that led to significantly tightened soundtrack licensing policies. The phrase entered pop culture lexicon before the film itself gained cult appreciation, with the song becoming more famous than the source material. The scene was originally 2 minutes in the script, but Kubrick extended it to 8 minutes during filming, improvising additional dialogue with the actresses. Entertainment lawyer John Schulman handled the settlement negotiations. The legal battle ultimately generated more publicity than the film's original marketing campaign coordinated by studio executive Mark Canton. Number 9. Matthew Modine photographed the entire production with a hidden camera, documenting behind-the-scenes chaos Kubrick never intended for public viewing. When Kubrick discovered the secret photography, he demanded immediate confiscation of all film and negatives. They reached a compromise. Modine could keep the photographs but had to seal them until 2005. The resulting book reveals a production far more chaotic than Warner Brothers marketed, with Kubrick's obsessive control extending to actors' meal schedules and sleep patterns. One photograph shows Kubrick directing while standing on a ladder at 3 a.m., surrounded by exhausted crew members. Another captures D'Onofrio sleeping in full costume between takes. Producer Jan Harlan later admitted, "The book exposed production methods the studio preferred remained private." Number 10. The infamous jelly donut scene was completely improvised by R. Lee Ermey on set. The script contained a generic punishment sequence with no specific dialogue, just a note reading Hartman discovers violation. Ermey invented the entire monologue during filming, including the line about Lawrence's disgusting fat body. Kubrick kept cameras rolling despite the script deviation, recognizing Ermey's authentic drill instructor instincts exceeded anything screenwriter Michael Herr could create. Watch the other actors' faces during the scene. Those are genuine surprise reactions because they had rehearsed completely different dialogue. Ermey confirmed in interviews that Stanley gave him freedom to use real Marine Corps punishment techniques. "Stanley gave me freedom to use real Marine Corps punishment techniques I'd learned at Parris Island in 1961. Script supervisor Ann Simpson documented the improvised dialogue for continuity purposes. Number 11. The helicopter door gunner's speech was unscripted, with actor Tim Colseri channeling real Marine trauma into the disturbing monologue about killing civilians. Kubrick shot 8 hours of helicopter footage and used only 90 seconds. What audiences do not realize is the helicopter never left the ground. The entire sequence was filmed on a soundstage with projected backgrounds. Watch the rotor shadow. It does not match the lighting direction at all. Production accountants estimated the scene cost $200,000 to film, and Kubrick nearly cut it entirely during editing because test audiences found it too nihilistic. The sequence survived only because Kubrick believed the door gunner's psychotic enthusiasm exposed psychological damage. Aerial coordinator Mark Wolf managed the stationary helicopter filming at Shepperton Studios. Number 12. Joker's helmet featuring Born to Kill next to a peace button was adapted from Gustav Hasford's source novel, but Kubrick obsessed over the prop's authenticity to an absurd degree. He researched Vietnam War helmet graffiti for months, discovering the peace button was historically inaccurate for the film's 1968 timeline. The symbol did not become widespread military iconography until 1969. Kubrick kept it anyway, deciding visual contradiction mattered more than historical precision. Matthew Modine suggested alternative slogans during pre-production, including era-appropriate phrases, but Kubrick refused all changes. The helmet appears in over 40 scenes throughout the runtime. Watch how property master Terry Wells lit the helmet differently depending on whether Joker expresses his cynical journalist persona or underlying violence. Number 13. The MPAA demanded Kubrick cut Hartman's explicit line for for intimate language that exceeded R rating standards in 1987. Kubrick refused outright, threatening to release the film unrated rather than compromise the drill instructor's authentic verbal abuse. Warner Brothers panicked because an unrated release would eliminate teenage audiences and reduce theatrical bookings significantly. The compromise involved keeping the controversial line, but cutting 4 seconds of bathroom violence showing Lawrence's death in graphic detail. According to production memos, the final MPAA rating arrived only 2 weeks before theatrical release. Studio executive Terry Semel had already printed promotional materials and booked theaters without rating confirmation. Kubrick's willingness to sacrifice commercial success for artistic integrity made him nearly unemployable. As Barry Reardon stated, Number 14. The Hughes City mass grave scene includes real excavated bomb site debris discovered during set construction. When production crews began building the Vietnam ruins at Becton Gas Works, they accidentally unearthed World War II bombing debris buried beneath the industrial facility. Production halted for 6 days while British historical preservation authorities inspected the site, documenting artifacts before allowing filming to continue. Watch the background rubble carefully. Those are not prop bones and metal fragments. They are authentic wartime artifacts Kubrick insisted on using despite safety concerns raised by production manager Philip Hobbs. The local government required on-set monitors to ensure historically significant items were not damaged. Kubrick told crew members, "The real debris added historical weight to fictional Vietnamese devastation, blurring lines between fabricated horror and authentic European destruction." Number 15. Kubrick shot a 20-minute alternate ending where Joker executes a wounded soldier, then turns the weapon on himself in existential despair. Test audiences found the sequence unbearably nihilistic, with Warner Brothers demanding immediate recutting before theatrical release. The compromise was the current ambiguous ending, where the platoon marches through burning ruins, singing the Mickey Mouse Club theme. According to editor Martin Hunter, Kubrick personally destroyed the alternate ending footage per his standard practice of eliminating rejected material. No copies exist in Warner Brothers archives, making it one of cinema's most significant lost sequences. Hunter described the deleted ending as Stanley's purest artistic vision, too dark for 1987 audiences, but perhaps prophetic about PTSD. Executive producer Jan Harlan confirmed the destruction decades later. Full Metal Jacket endures as Kubrick's meditation on dehumanization, where boot camp does not end when soldiers leave. It rewires their minds permanently. The film's dual structure reflects this psychological truth more than any conventional war story could. Which hidden detail surprised you most? And what film should we open next?